Hello everybody, this is Superintendent Tom Deighan again. I'm here to talk a little bit about the replacement of Eisenhower Middle School. The largest portion of this student investment program is dedicated to replacing Eisenhower Middle School. And most people have noticed there is also an undesignated or not specified portion of these bond funds that the board has set aside. We have done this because at the beginning of our last bond proposal, a Hurricane Katrina came in and it increased construction costs exponentially, and the district was unable to complete some of its projects. Therefore, the board has set aside an unspecified portion just in case construction costs rise unexpectedly as a result of Hurricanes Harvey and Irma. This has happened before, and our recent information from architects indicate it could happen again. The last thing we want to do is set aside money to build a building and then not have enough money to finish the project. The board and community have been talking about the construction of Eisenhower Middle School for almost 2 years now, and the plans are currently to rebuild Eisenhower Middle School on the site between Eisenhower High School and Eisenhower Middle School. It is a flat, stable, and secure ground, a great place for a middle school to be. The plans are to break ground next semester as early as January or February, with a projected completion for the beginning of the 2019 and 20 school year. What this means is that all current elementary schools on the west side that feed into Eisenhower Middle School would attend a brand new middle school. Some of the needs that drove us to replace this building or seek to replace it are the community needs to have a school accessible to students and parents on the west side. Students' needs and to have spacious and open schools and not be crammed into 3 remaining middle schools. And another issue is our stabilizing population of students. Here are some things I think the community needs to know. First of all, Tomlinson Middle School is in great shape. In fact, the board has just approved a contract to replace its roof, and that really is the only issue with Tomlinson Middle School. It really is a fantastic building. Another thing is that we really do need 4 middle schools. We looked at and studied whether or not we could force all the students into 3 middle schools, and quite frankly, it's just not a good idea. It would not be conducive to learning for our students. In addition to that, there are no further closures of elementary schools needed. By putting the pre-K students back into the current buildings from the collaborations, we've actually enabled our schools to be very full. As a matter of fact, there is a possibility in the future, and we're looking at it every year, on whether or not we need to reopen a site at some time. Eisenhower Middle School is rapidly deteriorating also. We've recently lost an entire floor full of restrooms. The roof needs to be replaced, and HVAC is barely functional. At a bottom line is we either need to rebuild Eisenhower Middle School in the next 2 years or move out over the next 2 years, period. This would force all middle school students into the 3 remaining schools, which would be incredibly crowded. It would force all students, elementary, high school, and middle school, to redistrict, changing boundary lines and transportation zones. It is a very difficult process for the community and for the students that the board hopes to avoid. I hope everybody can see that the future of Eisenhower Middle School really is the future of all Lawton Public Schools students. I hope everybody can see that once this project is done, and hopefully Eisenhower Middle School is not impacted by Hurricanes Irma and Harvey, all remaining funds will go to improve other areas of this district under the direction of not only the board, but the site bond committees, which will submit needs to the district. There certainly is no shortage of projects that this district needs to complete for its students, and we have the extra oversight of the Bond Oversight Committee to ensure that those funds are spent appropriately and in the best interest of our students. I want to thank you for taking the time to learn how Lawton can, and I want to encourage you to please register to vote by October 20th, and please vote on November 14th.